Hi, I'm Grete from Scandinavia. Today I'm going to make my favorite Danish rye bread. It is whole wheat rye bread. I grew up eating rye bread every single day in my childhood, and I still like to eat it every single day. It's delicious and it's healthy, so let's get going with it. And here you see all the ingredients for my whole wheat rye bread. I'm going to use 2 cups of water, and here I have 1 cup of whole wheat flour, 1 cup of rye flour, and 1 cup of rye kernels which have been crushed. Then I'm going to use half a cup of sourdough, half a cup of sunflower seeds, and half a cup of flax seed. I'm going to use 1 package of yeast, 1 tablespoon of dark molasses, 1 teaspoon of salt. And the very first step is to boil the sunflower seed, the flax seed, and the rye kernels in hot water. So let's get started with that. So I pour in the sunflower seeds, next comes the flax seeds, and of course then the rye kernels, and then I want to make sure that I cover it with enough water, and I'll boil it for about 5 to 10 minutes. 5 minutes should be enough, but if you want to, go ahead for 10 minutes. And this has been cooking for 5 minutes, so I am going to pour it into the mixing bowl. And here it goes. And as you can tell, it's still really hot. I have to let it cool down a little bit, and then I will add the rest of the water, which is cold, because I don't want to add the yeast and the sour dough until it's finger warm. So I'm adding the 1 teaspoon of salt and the 1 tablespoon of molasses. Mix it in. And let me see how warm it is. It's not too warm. I can actually add some of the flour, so I'm adding 1 cup of the flour now. And then I want to mix it up on the mixer here. And I'm going to add a half cup of sourdough, and also I'm adding 1 package of yeast. And then I'll mix this up. And I'll add the last cup of flour and mix it up again. And hopefully this should be sufficient. If not, if the bread is too runny, just add a little bit more flour. Just enough so you can keep its shape, okay? So here we go again. And I let it mix for 5 to 10 minutes. You decide when it's finished. I have sprayed the can with some oil and then sprinkled flour in it, and now I can add the rye bread dough. And now I have added all of the bread dough to the pan here and spread it out evenly, and I'm going to leave it here for 1 or 2 hours until I see it has risen enough. And of course I'll cover it up. And finally I slice the bread, and I'm going to brush it with cold water. And I like to sprinkle some sunflower seeds on top as well. And then it's going in the oven at a degree of approximately 370, 375. And it should bake at least to 1 hour and 15 minutes. But you better check on it and make sure it's baked all the way before you take it out. So it goes in the oven now. Okay, here we have the bread in the oven, and I'll be back in about an hour to check on it, but most likely it will take 1 hour and 15 minutes to 1.5 hours. So here we have the finished bread out of the oven. It has cooled down. I sliced off the end piece here, and of course I'm going to butter it. Let me slice another piece off. And of course this is really healthy and filling bread. Doesn't it look good? I think it does. So I enjoy eating it. And of course I like to butter it. And it's so good just with butter on by itself. It's fine. So. It is going to be tasty, I know it. And of course, eat it. I like to eat just with plain butter. Of course, you can add some cheese or jam or honey or cold cuts. All kinds of ways we can eat it. So here we go. Good. Good. Love it. I love the graininess in it, and I like to eat it just with plain butter, but of course we make a lot of sandwiches with rye bread. So hopefully you also like it. Please enjoy. Skål. I hope to see you another day. Thank you so much for watching.